Hey, we're the Turtons, and this is Turton Travels. And I wanted to start with a little bit of story time this week. There's two things I want to talk about. This week we're talking about the week we were in Joshua Tree. And wow, if you ever get the chance, highly recommend it. Super awesome, but we'll show some pictures of that later. We actually showed up at Joshua Tree and then immediately left. We dropped off the RV.
Literally.
Yeah, dropped off the RV, hopped in the car the next morning, super early, ran to the airport and flew to Austin, Texas.
Out of LAX.
Drove to LAX, long drive. Drove over and flew over to Austin, Texas to see the eclipse. And man, it was right down to the wire. It was super cloudy, but we did manage to see it. It cleared up, and we managed to see the totality, which was really cool. That's why we flew there, was to see the totality, which that was an amazing experience. So we'll have a little bit about that later. But the story time today is, what happened, Beate? Big problems. That's what happened. So we checked into Joshua Tree, and we've been on the road at this point for, 8 months, roughly, maybe a little more. And I have a pattern. It's a very great pattern, and it's been consistent. And the pattern is we move every Thursday. We check into a campground on a Thursday, and we leave on a Thursday. Patterns worked great. No problems. And so I got lulled into a sense of security. And I got a phone call, when we were in Austin. I get a phone call, and the phone call says, hey, you were supposed to check out of your campsite today. And it was a text message from the camp host. Super nice lady. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she says, well, you had only a one-night reservation. And I'm like, no, I don't do one-night reservations. I had a week reservation. Well, it turns out I'm wrong. What happened was we couldn't get the reservations quite the way we wanted them, so we were going to have to do a mid-week shift. We were going to be in one place for one campsite for one night, and then the rest in another campsite. And there was a very angry person who wanted to get into their campsite, who was giving the camp host a hard time. Then I get a call. This was all like while we were on the plane, actually. While we were on the plane, I think I got these text messages. So I come and I open up my phone, and there's all these text messages, and then there's a voicemail from the ranger saying that there's a very angry person, very angry that they're not able to get into their campsite. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I felt terrible. I don't know. And I booked this like 6 months before, and it completely skipped my mind. And when we checked in, the ranger didn't confirm how many nights we were staying for, and it wasn't even on our radar. So, yeah. Screwed that up pretty good. Managed to connect with the ranger, and I'm like, did they tow my RV out of the campsite? Like, we are class A with the jacks down and the slides out. Please tell me they didn't try to move our camper. Thank God they did not. Got on the phone with the camp host first, and she says, no, I'm off shift now, so I can't help you. I'm gone. Managed to the next morning call first thing and talk to the ranger. The ranger's super cool, super helpful. Thank you, Joshua Tree. So sorry if you're watching this. And basically they said the guy's still angry, very angry, and he's been stalking out our campsite, continually walking past to see when we get back because he wants it. And that he'd gotten very verbally aggressive. So I'm like, listen, next time you see the guy, tell him I'll give him, it was $100. Tell him I'll give him $100 as an I'm sorry, and hopefully that'll calm him down. And I'll be he still got
he actually got to stay beside us.
Yeah, which turned out to be super awkward. I'm like, I can't, I'm in Austin. There's nothing I can do about this right now. I'm really sorry.
The ranger's like, the next day.
Yeah, the ranger's like, you're where? I'm like, I'm in Texas.
Just for one night.
For one night.
And then
not even
back. It was like a whirlwind 24-hour there and back.
We flew in the night before the eclipse, watched the eclipse, and then jumped on the plane and went right back.
After
the eclipse, as soon as the totality was over, we literally called an Uber immediately, ran and tried to beat the traffic because we knew it would be crazy in downtown Austin. We fly back, and the whole time I'm like, oh man, please don't let this be terrible. We land, we drive to Joshua Tree. We got there at 11 or midnight. It was super late, and fortunately the guy wasn't there, and I didn't know that he was our neighbor. Wake up the next morning, and I thought, you know what, this guy's probably going to come see me. So I put the $100 in my pocket, walk outside the RV, and I hear, so you're the guy, eh? And I'm just like, oh my God. I haven't even made it down the stairs of the camper yet. And he's like, he was actually pretty chill. I think the ranger had already told him I was going to give him $100. So I just reached right in my pocket. You know, I said, mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. That's Latin. Basically, I totally screwed up. I have no excuses. I'm so sorry. This is my bad. Gave him the $100 and he was pretty chill. And
we moved to our next site.
And we moved as fast as possible. Yeah, we were gone by like 8 a.m. I think, so that he could take our site. We moved over to our next site. Everything was fine, and we didn't have to see him again for the rest of
the week.
We just kind of avoided that end of the campground. So yeah, that was probably the most uncomfortable moments of our trip. Other than Beati doesn't like driving through the mountains. That's pretty uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
But other than that,
going up is okay. Just down and around is what makes.
She does not like going down and around the sharp corners, especially the hairpins.
Towing a car and yeah. But overall, it's been great.
Yeah, but this was awkward story time with Turton Travels. So make sure you check your reservations and don't be like us. Anywho, hope you enjoy the footage from Joshua Tree. It's honestly spectacular. I highly recommend you check it out. It was gorgeous, and the eclipse was amazing. Have a great day.
Bye.
This week's trivia question is, how many acres does Joshua Tree National... Joshua Tree. I said Joshua Tree.
Try it again.
This week's trivia question is, how many acres does Joshua Tree National Park encompass? Stay tuned for the answer at the end.
We just hit totality. City lights have automatically come on. It's beautiful out here. It is 1:30. We're here in Austin, and it is beautiful. We got to see if the clouds parted. It's totality right now.
The answer to this week's trivia question is Joshua Tree National Park has almost 800,000 acres of land.